We live in a world where you can pick up your mobile phone and start to earn an income, which is actually insane. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can go from $0 to $1,000 per month using social media, and I'm going to focus on the most efficient and effective way possible. So let's get to it. Okay, are you ready? Pen and paper to hand, notes app up, however you like to take notes. Do you have the ability to do so? Amazing. We're going to start with step one, which is all about picking your social media platform. Because yes, remember I said we're starting from $0 to $1,000 per month. When I said zero, I meant zero. So you don't have a social media platform yet, or at least you don't know which social media platform you're going to focus on. Now, I purposely say focus on because I believe that in order for you to be successful on social media, you need to be focusing on one platform at a time. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you try to start your journey across multiple social media platforms at the same time, there's a big chance you're going to end up burning yourself out, because social media takes a lot of time and effort. Creating content takes a lot of work. If you're trying to do that and you're trying to do it well for multiple different social media platforms from scratch, you're going to get bored of it. You're going to get tired and you're probably going to burn out. And that is not what we want to happen. So we're going to focus on just the one. But how do you pick which social media platform you want to focus on? For example, are you going to be an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, a TikToker, a Pinterester? Is that a word? An Xer? Huh? That don't sound right. You know what I mean though. There are so many different social media platforms. The truth is there's no one platform that we should all be focusing on, because the platform that works best for us is going to differ depending on who we are. A perfect example of this, I started my social media journey back in November 2020. Now, apart from the crazy things that were happening in the world during that time, it was also a time when TikTok was blowing up. Like, if I had said to anyone at that time, oh my God, guys, I'm going to become a creator, which platform should I focus on? Anyone would have been like, TikTok. TikTok is the one. You can blow up on TikTok. But I didn't focus on TikTok. And do you know why? Because I didn't like it. I didn't like short form video content at the time. I'm warming to it now, but it's taken 3 years, right? So instead, I turned to YouTube, which would have been the platform that people would have said, YouTube's great, but it takes a lot of work. Are you ready for it, right? I decided to go with YouTube because I knew I would feel more comfortable creating longer videos like this one. So I went with the platform which I knew I would naturally prefer to be on and enjoy to create content for. And the result was that I saw success because I enjoyed creating content on YouTube so much, therefore I had more energy to throw into it. If I had started on TikTok, even in November 2020, when people were blowing up and seeing all the success, I don't think I would have seen as much success. And I think the reason for that would have been that I naturally wouldn't have enjoyed creating content. So therefore, I just wouldn't have put as much effort into it. I might have quit creating content altogether completely. So what this little story is supposed to tell you is the fact that different social media platforms are going to work for different people. And one of the main things that I want you to focus on, because I do think you can see success across any of the social media platforms, one of the main thing that I want you to focus on is which one do you want to be on? What type of content do you naturally find yourself gravitating towards when it comes to creating? Are you like me and you need to have at least 10 minutes to talk because you love to provide context and you love to have a chat? Or maybe you're someone who loves to do trends and quick editing and therefore reels and TikToks are great for you. Or maybe you want the option to share photos and not just in like TikTok's carousel way or as an X or Twitter post. Maybe you want to share photos in the good old fashioned way on a platform like Instagram or Pinterest, right? These are the things you want to consider, because if you pick the social media platform that you naturally gravitate towards, it'll be so much easier for you to stay infused and committed and consistent on it because you genuinely like to create content on that platform.
You feel me?
Okay, so you've picked a social media platform that you naturally love. I'm really proud of you and I'm super, super happy for you, right? Let's move on though. We're gonna move on to step number 2. Now this step is where things start to get a little bit real, because it's unfortunately not just enough to create like an Instagram account or a YouTube account or a Twitter account or whatever account you decided to focus on. That's unfortunately not enough. We now need to actually start building an audience on that account. And what I want you to focus on doing is building know, like, and trust. This is one of the easiest kind of entry level ways of building an audience. There are more complex ways, but we're not doing the complex way today. We're doing the most efficient way to get to a point where we're making $1,000 per month on social media. So what we need to start doing is building know, like, and trust. Okay, should we start with building know? What that basically means, because I know that is not grammatically correct, what that basically means is that people are starting to know who you are. At the end of the day, if people aren't seeing your content, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to build anything, right? So when it comes to the know part, what you want to focus on is high reach activity. This includes using features on whatever social media platform that you selected that are naturally going to help you get in front of new people. On YouTube, that's uploading shorts. On Instagram, that's uploading reels. On TikTok, that's uploading something that's topical or trending. those are the things that you want to focus on, because those are the things that are going to get you high reach. They're going to get you in front of new faces, and that's going to help you with your no. Another tactic you can use for this, and this is like not like a cheating tactic, but it's like a fast track way, is to collaborate. So you want to find other creators to collaborate with, and you want to do this by going live with them, co-creating a piece of content. Maybe you both shout each other out, right? This is going to be one of your most effective ways to get that initial push and to get people to start to know you. It's basically a way to like cheat the system, because when you collaborate with someone else, you get exposure to their audience. If you've always wondered how you actually find creator collaborations, inside The Collective, which is the digital membership and mobile app for the Creator Project, which is my other brand, inside there, we actually have a community channel where you can actually find creators based on their niche and their content type. And you can find their contact information specifically for creators who do want to collaborate with you. So that's a quick fast track way for you to do that. I'll put a link below. So we've got a couple things that we can do to try and build no, which basically just means to get our name out there, right? Let's talk about like. So when I talk about like, I am talking about getting people to like you. Maybe that was obvious. I don't know. We're talking about getting people to like you and to understand you on a deeper level, right? This is an important step, and you'll understand why it's so important as we continue going through this video. But there are a few things that you can do which will help with getting people to like you. First thing you can do is to show up as yourself. Even if you've got a faceless channel, even if it's a brand channel that doesn't have one core face behind it, you need to have some real clear tone of voice and personality to what you're doing. That is what's going to help people like you. It's also what's going to help you stand out from others. So don't be afraid to have a clear tone of voice, which basically just means like the way in which you speak to your audience. So like some tone of voices are very informal and friendly. Others are self-deprecating and funny. Other ones might be a bit more formal and corporate, but sarcastic and dry. It's just like a personality and a way that you communicate. Don't be afraid to figure out what that is at the early stages. So you want to do that now and be really forthcoming with that. Now, the third little part of that puzzle is trust. How do you get people to trust you? My God, what a big philosophical. Philosophical. There we go. She got it. What a big question to ask. When it comes to social media, you've done a great job at getting people to know you. You're on your way to getting people to like you. Naturally, the trust thing is going to come last. When it comes to trust, there's a few things that you want to be doing. You want to be showing up online on a regular, consistent basis so that your audience know that they can trust you to create content for them. When we talk about consistency, please know that consistency is not the same as frequency. I'm not saying to be consistent, you have to show up every day. I'm saying that you have to pick the amount of times that you show up and you want to stick to it. So if you're going to show up 4 times a week, great. Show up 4 times a week, right? If you're going to show up twice a week, great. Show up twice a week. Stick to it. Manage your audience's expectations so they know that they can trust that you're going to upload new content on a weekly basis. In terms of other ways to build trust, what you want to try and do is bring your audience behind the scenes as much as you can. This really helps with trust because it allows them to feel like they know the real you or the real part of your brand. And it also allows you to strip back the facade of perfection that we often have when it comes to our main content. So use other features on your social media platform, which allows you to bring people behind the scenes. Upload more stories onto TikTok and onto Instagram. Use the community feature on YouTube to connect with your audience on a deeper level and share some of the behind the scenes, the wins, the losses that is going on behind the scenes as you try to grow this brand. It does such a great job at helping you connect with your audience and really build that trust. All right, I want to take a quick break to talk to you about a resource which is going to massively help you on your journey. And this resource is completely free. The resource is brand new by HubSpot and it's called the State of Marketing Report. The resource will allow you to learn about current marketing trends impacting how marketers will work in 2024. So it's a super recent report from AI tools and chatbots all the way through to social selling, things like TikTok Shop and cookieless personalization. This is the ultimate guide for anyone who's looking to earn an income through social media because earning an income through social media requires you to understand marketing, right? Social media is a marketing platform. You're going to be using it to earn $1,000 a month. So you're going to want to make sure you understand what's going on in the landscape. The thing is about the marketing industry is that it's always changing. So HubSpot have done an amazing job at summarizing the key changes and the key categories that we need to be aware of. These include awareness, engagement, privacy, efficiency, and growth. And they dive into each of these topics. My personal favorite part of this guide is the growth section because it focuses on how marketers can make more sales, which is something that all of us are going to care about because we're trying to earn an income through social media. If you want to get your hand on this completely free guide, which I'm sure you do, head to the link below, download your guide, give it a read. It will will help you on your journey to making $1,000 per month on social media. Now, before we move on to step 3, I would be remiss if we didn't take a quick second to talk about the quality of the content that you're sharing and the role that that's going to play when it comes to your ability to build know, like, and trust, and therefore earn an income through social media. Quality is king or queen. I don't know. Quality is important. Quality is incredibly important. And when I talk about quality, I'm talking about a few different elements. I'm talking about the obvious stuff, such as making sure that your camera's clear, you've wiped the lens, and if you're filming using your phone, you're using the cameras on the back of your phone, because those are always higher quality. In addition to things like your audio and making sure that people can hear you if you're speaking. If you're doing a lot of content where you're speaking to the camera, make sure people can hear you. I know that sounds ridiculous because it sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people overlook that. All the way through to the content of your content itself. In order for you to build know, like, and trust, in order for you to build an engaged community on social media, you have to ensure that you're sharing content that is valuable to a specific audience. Okay, you want to figure out who it is you're going to speak to through your social media content, and you want to make sure you're creating valuable content for them. Please keep in mind that this is a step that you can do at this point in your journey. A lot of people think, well, I need to figure out how I'm going to earn money first, and then I create content about that. And that's actually a backwards way of doing things. You actually want to figure out who you want to speak to first, and you want your own personal interests to dictate your content. We'll figure out how to monetize it later. Don't worry. Doesn't matter what your interests are. We'll figure out how to monetize it. What you want to do right now is pinpoint who your audience are and understand what content they find valuable. The best way you can do that is to start creating content for them and to pay attention to how that content performs, right? If a content gets more engagement, gets more reach, those are clear signs that is content that your audience finds valuable. All right, my loves, should we move on to the money-making part of the video? Let's do it. You're probably wondering when I was going to get to this point. Don't worry, you had to do those steps first, but we're now moving on to step number 3. This step is all about picking an income stream. The time has come. Now, I want you to bear with me here, because remember I told you about picking the most efficient and effective way to get to $1,000 months? This is really where that's going to kick in. So we spoke about building know, like, and trust previously. And ideally, you want to spend at least a few months doing that, right? Some people will get to the stage where they're ready to monetize within a couple months. I monetized my audience within 2 months of starting my channel, which was very quick. I only had like 200 people in my audience, but it works. Other people might want to give it a bit longer. Whatever works for you. Once you feel like you're ready to start monetizing, I want you to go back through your content that you shared over the past month, few months, year, however long you left it, right? And I want you to ask yourself, out of those 3 things, know, like, and trust, which of those 3 things do you think you've done the best at? Which are you succeeding in? And if you're wondering how you can do that, right? If you look through your content and you realize that actually you've managed to reach a lot of people and you've grown a lot, that is a sign that you were really good at the know part, because a lot of people know you. If you look at your content and you think, actually, I get a lot of engagement in the form of comments and likes, that is a good sign that you were really good at the like part. When it comes to trust, the way in which you know you were good at that is if you got a lot of quality engagement. So you got DMs from people asking for recommendations on things. You got long comments from people, right? That is when you know you did a really good job at the trust part. If you don't feel like out of those 3, there's one that you clearly excelled at, then I'm willing to bet that you need to give it a little bit more time, right? Eventually, you're going to notice that one of those 3 things you have done super, super good at. You might have done good at all 3. If so, claps for you. But for now, we're going to focus on the one that you exceeded in. The reason why we're going to do that is because it's going to tell us how we should monetize. This is the efficiency part. So instead of just picking an income stream, so like a way to earn money just out of a hat, we're actually going to pick the income stream that you're most likely to see success from based on whether or not you built know, like, or trust. So what are those income streams? Well, if you were really good at building the know part, so you got a lot of reach, maybe you grew a decent sized audience, then your first income stream is going to be some form of in-platform monetization. I know that sounds like a fancy word, but it's not. It basically means a way for you to earn income from the social media platform that you're on. So if you are a YouTuber, that involves joining YouTube's partner program, which you will likely be able to do because you've built a good audience, right? If you're a TikToker, that involves joining TikTok's creator beta program. So it's the better one or the beta one that you want to join. You need 10,000 people in your audience to do so. But if you're really good at building know, then you probably have that many people in your audience. So you're probably eligible to join, right? There's also other ways for you to monetize on other platforms like on X and also on Pinterest. If you were good at building know, this is going to be one of your best ways to start earning an income, because this monetization stream is very heavily focused on how many people you reach with your content. And it sounds like you're already pretty good at doing that, right? Let's move on on though. Maybe you were really good at the like part. So you actually felt like you were getting some good engagement, lots of likes, lots of comments. So maybe you were good at the like part, right? If that's the case, then the income streams that you might want to start with are things like subscriptions and memberships. Now, subscriptions usually exist inside the social media platform that you're on. So on Instagram, you can have subscriptions. On YouTube, they call them memberships. These are really great for you because in order for you to do well in this income stream, you do need to have a bunch of people who like you, because you're basically saying, hey guys, can you pay me a monthly fee in exchange for more content? And in order for you to get that across, not only does your content need to be valuable, of course, but you also need to have a good group of people who actually like you enough to want to support you in that way. Last but not least, you have trust. If you were good at building trust, so you were getting the meaningful DMs and the meaningful comments, well, I've got some good news for you, because if you're good at building trust, then there's a big chance your audience will trust your recommendations or also trust any product that you might create. So there are a few things you can do here. Anything from affiliate marketing, which is when you join an affiliate program, you promote a product or service and you earn commission from every sale that you make. That's a great one for you because you have an audience who trusts your recommendations, all the way through to digital products like presets or ebooks or travel guides. If you create something of value, or if you promote a product or service which is of value to your audience and you have built trust with them, there's a big chance they're going to purchase whatever that is from you and you're going to be able to make some income. All right, should we move on to step 4, guys? We're making some very good progress, right? We've picked a social media platform. We've started to build know, like, and trust. We've then figured out which income stream we're going to develop based on how well we've done at building know, like, and trust. So now we can move on to step 4. And step 4 is all about doubling down on value. So yes, we're in a position where you've got your social media platform and you even understand how you're going to monetize. You might have even started to use affiliate links, or you might have started to sell your subscription, whichever route made the most sense for you. Now, the work doesn't stop there. And I think this is a huge misconception. People think they launch their new income stream and then they're like, where's my money? The truth is, because we're in the early stages, we're going from $0 to $1,000, we need to launch our income stream and then we need to do a few more things. The next thing we need to do is double down on value, okay? Now, what I'm referring to here is basically the value that you are offering as part of your income stream. If you're someone who decided to focus on in-platform monetization, so maybe you joined YouTube's partner program or you joined a creator fund, when I talk about doubling down on value for you guys, I'm specifically talking about creating even more valuable content. You want to focus on creating as much valuable content as possible because your content is the thing that's helping you earn an income. Valuable content appears in so many different forms, and you guys would have heard me talk about this before. It could be entertaining, it could be educational, it could be relatable, it could be, I always forget one, it could be inspirational. Those are the 4 most common value points. You can change them up every single time you post, but you want to double down on ensuring that you're driving home at least one of those value points in your content. For everyone else, so for everyone who created a product, who created a subscription or a membership or any of those things, right? When I talk about value for you guys, I'm talking about the value that that income stream offers your audience. If you're going to create a subscription on Instagram, great. What value can people get from it? You should be able to answer that question in one very succinct answer, right? So for example, if someone says to me, okay, tell me about The Collective, which is my digital membership and mobile app. What's the value that someone gets from that? And I would literally say, well, content creators will learn how to grow an audience and earn an income. That is the value of the membership. That's the whole reason why it exists. That's what it helps content creators do. You need to be able to answer that question. What is the purpose of your subscription, your membership, your digital product, any of that stuff? What is the purpose? I want you to answer it in one sentence. When you get good at that, I want you to repeat that sentence. Say it as much as you can to as many people who will listen. That is what's going to help you double down on value, and that is what's going to help you make more money. All right, let's just spend a couple minutes just talking about the elephant in the room. How do you actually sell these things to your audience? I know not all of you are going to pick an income stream what requires selling, but some of you are, and people feel so icky about selling. There is one mindset shift that I want you to experience that I think is going to help you with this. When you are selling a product to your audience, you are not trying to force people who don't want the products to buy it. You're trying to speak to the people who do want your products, and you're just letting them know that you have it, that it's available for them to buy. That's what you're doing. We are not in the game of forcing people who hate you to buy your product. That's not what we're doing. If you make that mindset shift, I'm willing to bet that your feelings towards selling might change, because as I said, we're not trying to push a product or a service or a subscription, whatever it is, down someone's throat who doesn't want it. There will be people out there who do want that product or that service, right? We just want to let them know that you have it. It's not fair for those people who want that thing to not know that you have that thing. So when it comes to using social media to sell a product, you want to do three things. You want to focus on the transformation of whatever product or service you're selling, right? So you want to focus on what the end result is, because that's going to help you effectively communicate why someone might want to purchase it. You're also going to want to focus on sharing something that we call social proof. Social proof is basically when you have testimonials, reviews, content from existing or previous customers, and you can share that with new potential customers as like proof that like, hey guys, other people have bought this and they've liked it, right? Last but certainly not least, you want to cap the amount of times that you're selling. And that might sound counterproductive. I'm a firm believer that you want to be talking about your product or your service, whatever it is, 20% of the time. More than that, and you're going to risk disrupting the quality of your content and the health of your social media page. You will notice that when you are talking about a product or service, you will get less engagement, and that's okay. It's not always the case, but it is commonly the case. So if you make all of your content about that, it's going to affect the health of your account. Primarily, your social media account should still be there to serve your audience and to provide valuable content for them. Every now and then, if you want to talk about a product or a service that you sell, great. Just try not to make it overpower your page. And also try not to do the opposite mistake, which is to not talk about your product or service at all. All right, guys, if you follow those steps, there's a great chance you'll be able to scale to $1,000 per month. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about income diversification, I have a full masterclass on it. I'm going to link to it below so you can get your hands on it. And do not forget to grab your free State of Marketing report by HubSpot. It's completely free. I'm going to include the link below. Do not forget to grab your hands on it. All right, my loves, it was so lovely speaking with you as always. I can't wait to see you in my next video.